Fridays, we call it the producers club because we want to have producers in here. We want to success leaves behind clues, as you guys might have heard. So I think one of the most important things is to hear from what others are doing, be inspired, and also know that nobody is out there batting 1,000. Like we all have our ups and downs, but what are the people doing that's different? What are the producers? What are the top agents? What are the experienced agents doing that might be different? So we want to get to know my special guest here today. We want to get to know her a little bit better, and she's from our Keller Williams Palos Verdes office. And this is Rubina. Rubina's on the call here.
Hi, how is everyone?
Good, good. How are you
Good,
doing,
good.
Rubina?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. And I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit too, but you've got to follow her social media as well. So make sure we'll put her Instagram handle in there to help her out with that, because that's just
Thank
what we
you.
do now. It's
Yeah.
2026. We share Instagram handles, right? That's
Yes.
just what we do now. So Rubina, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of real estate.
All right.
Let's just start with that. Outside of real estate, tell us who's Rubina.
Outside of real estate, gosh. Okay. So outside of real estate, I'm basically, I'm a mom. I have two boys, one in college, one going into sophomore year. Um, yeah, I mean, gosh, I should probably have more to share, except just that I'm a mom, but it just all revolves around that right now, I guess. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Well, I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
hey, well, look, I mean, the last 20 years is, that's been a big part of your life
Yeah.
and your world. And so you've built a real estate business while being a mom, which I think a lot of us, a lot, not me,
Hmm.
but as a dad, I can relate, but a lot of people here can also relate to that. Hey, I'm raising kids and I'm doing a real
Hmm.
estate business. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But what led you then into real estate and then said, at what point, like, tell me, like, what year was it? How did you first decide? Did someone tell you about it?
Yeah.
Did you see it somewhere? You saw someone else doing it? Tell us about that journey.
Okay, so I accidentally kind of fell into it. I was working in the entertainment industry. It was just kind of not, it was all over the place. A friend of mine was working for a new home developer here in the South Bay, Anastasi Development Company. He only wanted to hire real estates who had a college, who had a bachelor's, who had graduated college. He didn't want a real estate degree. I mean, a real estate agent without a college, without a bachelor's. So she was like, "You got to hop on this opportunity. It'll be quick, and you'll sell new homes." So I was like, "Great." So I sold new homes for the first, like, gosh, I don't know, 8 years. That was how I fell into it. It was great. It was easy. The product was given to me. It was before 2008. Everyone was buying homes. I was like, this is so great. It's so easy.
And people are
And
just
then
coming up to
and then
you.
things changed. Yes, yes, yes. So it was new homes. Um, and then around after I had my second son, the market changed. I wasn't doing new homes. I delved into residential, and it was a whole other ball game. That's when I feel like real estate actually started for me, because I had to build my own business. I had to learn how to market. I had to go get like listings and find buyers. That was around 2012, 13. So
Okay.
yeah.
So in the beginning, I mean, you could argue that like the business was coming to you. It was much
Mhm.
easier. So then 2013 is when really like the actual business side of your real estate career started.
Yes, yes, 2013. And here's the thing. When you get your license, if you're a new agent, you kind of, I don't know, I felt like, okay, well, now how do I go drum up business, right? So where do I go? And if you're not with a brokerage that doesn't give you the guidelines or the booklet like Keller Williams does, you're kind of lost. There isn't anybody who's going to help you or direct you unless you have a mentor or you're part of a team. So I felt a little kind of lost. You tend to there isn't a boss over you. You're not going to an office. You're working for yourself. And if you don't have the discipline and the motivation to get up every morning, make your hours, have a system in place, it can get hard. You're going to go to Costco at 9 o'clock, except instead of like, you know what, I need to make my phone calls. And it's just habits and discipline, which
So
took like a good two years for me to establish.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
to
So,
say.
so let's talk about that. I mean, what at what point was that aha where you're like, okay, wait a minute, I'd like this is what I need to do. You said it took 2 years, so then that's saying you didn't have that in the beginning.
Mm.
Was there
Mhm.
something that happened where you're just like, okay, I'm figuring it out now. This is what I've got to do. And how did you get there?
Well, I think so. I feel like I joined a team, which was great because that sets it. You really have to look at who you are. Okay. I am going to go to Costco or go to a sale at the mall and then be like, oh, you know what? Let me get to real estate now. And then it's like 12 o'clock and then you have to pick up your kids. So I found out that I needed more structure. And then it really helped me to join a team, learn how to just run a system, make the phone calls, do the open houses, follow up with open house leads. When you understand that this job is not instantaneous, somebody comes out 2 years later that you try to call and they ignored you and they ignored you and then all of a sudden they appear and they're like, oh, I really want to buy that home that you sent me last week. And you're like, where have you been? You realize that it's the nurturing, the follow-up, um, that you have to work on. And you don't learn that unless you do that, or you don't believe
Yeah.
it unless you do it consistently. And I think that's what I learned from joining the team. So then I went out on my own after the team. So sorry, I'm all over the place. You can reel
No,
me back
that's
in,
okay.
Richard. Reel me back in, Richard.
Okay, so I'm curious. So when you started, I mean, after the new builds, did that first transaction,
Yeah.
how did that happen as now Rubina's own real estate business? What was that like?
First transaction happened from the new homes that I had sold. I started marketing to them.
Okay.
And that was smart. And so that's how that happened. It was a condo. Um, and I was very excited. So that was the first transaction.
But wait, you're marketing to the people that you sold a home to in the past
Mm-hmm.
for them to sell it and buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you come up with that idea? What was your strategy to do that? How did you market to them?
I got to know the HOA president and then I started to send like little flyers, just touching base. And then they knew me from the sales office.
Yeah.
So the trust was already there. So that was like great. Um, so that's how that happened.
Okay, so then I'm gonna argue that that was database. You're
Yeah,
looking at your database of
yeah,
clients, the people that
true,
you know,
true. Hmm.
and really the top of that database has got to be the people that already know you and trust you and that would hire you. So
True.
you're targeting
Yes,
those people saying, "Hey, I'm still here. What do
mhm.
you need?" And then they're now they're
Yes,
saying,
yes.
"That's a
Mhm.
great idea, brilliant idea, and it's also so simple." Right?
Mhm.
But then we
Yes,
oftentimes we say, "Oh, let's go to an open. Let me host an open house again. I'm not knocking open houses.
yeah,
Let me host an open house for new people to jump in and let me meet new people." But I mean, sometimes the business is right under your nose.
that's true. Yes.
So did it start off very fast for you when you started this business? Did it take some? You said it took 2 years. I mean, like, when did you really start to gain momentum?
Gosh, I think like 5 years of letting people know what you do in that most, least like tacky, cringy way. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And then, yeah, just 5 years.
5 years.
Hmm.
Okay. And do you think that was just time over task over time? It just, just building the database, doing the activities for 5 years? Was it just repeat business? Now people know who you are. It was just referrals. Because actually, it's interesting that you say that, Rubina. I actually tell people I think the magic number is 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're doing the activities like full time, right? The magic number is
Yes,
5 years.
yes, it is. Yeah, it was everything. It's exhausting. I think coaching helped. Like I was so resistant to hiring a coach. I feel like if you're serious about this business, you have to hire a coach. You have to know yourself. You have to know how you work. Depending on where you lack what you where you need accountability, right? I feel like I needed accountability everywhere. So the coaching really helped. And then to not go crazy over everything that you have to do. There's so much. It's like be a social media person, door knocking, farm. You take your past clients out. Did you check in with so and so? I did three. Having kids really helped because my coach told me like everyone should know that you're a realtor. Like just make it happen. Join the PTA. Be at the baseball games. Go to every activity. It can get exhausting, but I'm really social and I feed off of I'm a total extrovert. I feed off of people's energy. So he was like, whatever makes you happy, make that your sphere, make that your business. So
Yeah.
going out, having my girls' nights, taking moms out, having game nights, I just really focused on that because if you're having fun with it, then you're not really marketing and door knocking and cold calling. Find where the fun is and make that your marketing, I guess. I don't know if I put that
Yeah.
eloquently, but yeah.
Okay. Fantastic advice because it doesn't have to always be the pick up the phone and call strangers. Call the people that you know. Be a
Yeah.
gatherer of people.
Yes, yes, be a gatherer of
Yeah,
people.
you can be a good gatherer of people and just attract people. That automatically then comes is followed with trust.
Mhm.
So what so then okay, we have some people on this call. It's their first year of real estate. Maybe even like
Okay.
leading into their second year. We
Mm.
all know, I mean, the first year is not easy. What advice really would you give them? Like, give me like two pieces of good, strong advice that you would give to someone in their first year to to help them succeed. And number two, to someone that might be thinking, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I want to give up. This is
Mhm.
a lot harder than I thought it was.
Okay, two pieces of advice. One, if you're on your own, I highly recommend like maybe joining a team or finding a good mentor that you can go on listing presentations with, or like if they're showing buyers homes, just being part of a team and coaching.
Yeah,
Get a
yeah,
coach, or you're great at the office. I mean, there's so much if you don't want to pay for a coach right now because you just started, you don't have additional funds or resources to pay for a coach, then just, come and listen to all the meetings you have and all that, breakout
yeah.
sessions on scripts and all of that. So,
Yeah, and I'll pitch this here too. I mean, every one of our offices has a productivity coach. We have
yeah,
in PV Samantha Lee, and you don't
that's
have
me.
to be a new agent to be a product to be with the productivity coach. And you don't have to pay up front. You just, pay a very small, reasonable percentage off of your transaction. So you don't even pay unless you close. So it's like, to me, it's a no-brainer. If this coach helps you close more business, and you're just helping them out when it closes, and so when I was a productivity coach, I actually coached a good amount of experienced agents, and I even used to coach an agent at my previous KW that was in the business for well, like over 40 years. He's retired now, and I was coaching him. So anybody can go into coaching. So that's great advice, Rubina.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, what about for someone that's just like thinking, you know what? Is this really right for me? Like, why didn't anybody tell me that it was this hard? Why didn't anybody tell me that leads would just start calling me? Like, what
Yeah.
does that person have to do?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I want to tell that person that even the most experienced and like veteran agent goes through that. Like we all just sit there sometimes because we're either overwhelmed or maybe business is a little slow. And we're like, why do we do this?
Yeah,
So it's not just you. Um, I feel like, uh, gosh, you really need to look at if you've done everything you possibly can before you give up because it is hard. Things don't just fall in your lap. You do have to work hard at it. Clients take a long time. Sometimes the sellers that I've list for, I've worked with for 2 years, 3 years, trying to like, I find out they're gonna retire 3 years from now, or somebody, it's not instantaneous. People aren't calling you and saying, I'm listing my home in a month. Can you do it? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's all about just the long game and just building relationships, building your database, find the two things that you can do well and just do that. Like if it is door knocking, door knock, door knock, door knock, door knock. I mean, I have to say there has been some great deals I've gotten out of door knocking, but I've had to nurture them. I got a good example for the newbies when I've door knocked. Um, Somebody said they were going to move to Arizona. I remember this, but after their husband's kidney transplant went well and they didn't know, they weren't sure, maybe they weren't going to move to Arizona. That it was a little seed that got planted in my head. I put them in my system and I would just give them information, give them information. Sure enough, it took them 3 years, but they listed and they listed with me. So even if somebody's like, maybe we'll move, maybe not, that's a yes. People just change their minds. Just nurture. The nurturing game is the longest, and that's what will not motivate you. But remember, it happens. Just provide value, even if
Yeah.
it's, yeah. So that's all.
That's really good advice. So what I gather there is this. I mean, the last thing you said, providing value in every little way that you can. Sometimes it doesn't even be, it's not even real estate value. You're just providing value as a friend, as a neighbor, as whatever it is.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the nurture game, that's so interesting because you said in the beginning part of our interview, like being ignored. I told
Yes.
agents, well, you're supposed to be ignored. Like that's being a real estate agent, and I say it in sort
Yes.
of a joking way. Like
Yeah.
people are supposed to ignore you. They see
Yes.
you as, oh, this person is a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let that get to you. And
Mm-hmm.
then you'll also have people. I mean, have you had where clients are like, you know what? I'm really glad, Rubina. Thank you for sticking with me and following up with me. Thank you for calling me and thank you for, I'm sorry I didn't return your calls, but I appreciate you always trying. I mean, we
Yeah.
get those
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. The reason, I mean, I haven't had anybody who was like, thank you so much. Everything that you were sending me every month was really helpful. But they do say, like, thanks for keeping me posted, or, oh, great
Yeah,
info. So, which is the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
They do.
I mean, I'm curious, like, what's a good client's story, right? Or transaction that you went through where I mean, something that we all like. I mean, if you've been in this business for a while, you're going to go through these transactions where either it had some sort of great positive impact, sometimes even a negative impact, but you learned something great from it. What's a client transaction or story that you can think of that had an impact on you?
Um, so I had a client whose husband was really sick. Um, they were working with another agent. They were trying to sell their home, and the other agent just wasn't flexible around showings and how long it was taking for the husband to recover. And what their daughter called me because she knew me from school and said that I would probably take more time and be more gentle with them as far as like not being pushy around
Yeah,
showings and staging, and the house was kind of a mess. So that story always stuck with me because like me, I wanted to get it sold, get it staged, get it ready, get it cleaned. But I took my time. It sold quick. And at the end, it wasn't about getting that home ready quick to get it on the market. It was about being sensitive to that situation and letting them have the time to do it their way. When they were ready, it was going to go on the market again and it was going to look beautiful and it was going to sell. So why push a family that's going through such a tough time? Like, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's June. July is going to be harder. August is going to be harder. Oh my gosh, it's going to be fall. Then you can't sell it at all. It was just like, let's just let them have their time. I just learned not to rush people, be patient and be sensitive to everyone's different situation because we work with so many different families. Everyone's living situations different. So you have to learn how to handle each client's like
yeah,
life and situation with patience and love
yeah.
and care. Yeah.
Well, that's a great point because for some agents too, or actually really for all of us, when we get a lead or we look at a possible listing, I mean, you're like, oh, there's excitement. There's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what's our next step? And you just jump into it. But I think that's great advice is listen,
Mm-hmm.
be sensitive. It's about the client. It's not about us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, Rubina, I mean, one thing that I noticed maybe in the last couple months or so is your social media presence. your social media presence, and I say this in
It's hard.
in the best way. It's like night and day from before. Like you could even argue that. Uh, Tell us about your like how that happened. What changed in social media for you? Because now you're doing a lot more reels, you're posting more content, you're out there, and you look like a natural, by the way. So like, it's really good.
Thanks.
You look like you've been doing it for like decades. Tell us about how that got started.
Um, I mean, social media is such a big part of everything. I think like whatever business you have, you need to just be on social media, whatever you're selling or, want people to know about. That got started. I started that early, but again, I was lazy about it. I would just hit it and be like, oh, today I'm going to talk about this. Oh, I closed a deal. Let me, like, oh, just closed or, buyer just got keys. I would do simple things like that just to put things out there. But then I started thinking about just providing more value about different things that happen during a transaction or what people are fearful of, or, I don't know, tax laws or contingencies. What does it mean? So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
educate people more. And so it was my son's home from college and he kind of he was like, let's do more social media stuff for you. And I got excited and he's kind of holding me accountable. And then if it's your son and you're lazy, like you want to set a good example because if he's ever going to have a business, like I
Yeah.
don't want when he goes through like yesterday we were gonna do something and I said, you know what, I'm tired. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't say that because he's gonna do that, right? He's 19. I was like, I'm tired, but I'm going to push through. We have our script. Let's go do this, But if he wasn't there, I wouldn't have done it. I would have just talked myself out of it. So um, I don't know, just be on social media, have a good script. Don't worry about what you look like. I used to use filters, you guys. I'm going to be super honest. I stopped using filters. I don't care if you see my wrinkles or my bags anymore because I would look at my face and literally be like, you know what? I don't look good today. My wrinkles look bad. I'm not going to do a video. And you just can't because no one cares. They just want to hear what you have to say. If you're providing value, they will, yeah, they will appreciate it. So do it.
Okay. Well, okay. So and I did meet your son before too, and I wow, that's a big like aha for me. Like you're having your son also be your accountability partner.
Yeah, because then it makes you be better too, because you're also like parenting still. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Okay.
And you're teaching through that. You're teaching through
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he want to get in? Does he want more jobs? I think we have some other agents here that need to hire somebody.
He totally would, but he's going to he's at UC Davis. So if he gets back and he doesn't have a job, then in 3 years, yes, he would be totally
Yeah, because
available.
I
Yeah.
literally think you're gonna have some agents here that are like, okay, well, we want to hire him right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so then tell me about the strategy. What do you guys go through? You guys sit and say, hey, we're gonna do X amount of videos. Like this is what
Mhm.
we're gonna like. How do you decide what to talk about? How do you decide where to shoot? Is it on the fly? Like, what's the strategy like?
We were kind of doing on the fly, and that was a learning experience because it took longer. We're like, oh, no, we should say this, but no, we shouldn't. Let's go to this area. We're kind of like, okay, let's have a script. Let's sit down at home. When I say this line, where should I be? Like, oh, we should be in front of, West High School in Torrance, or we'll go to Redondo Beach at the pier when I say this line. So we do it all at home. The script we use Chat GPT. I just put in there like today I'm focusing on, Redondo Beach homes. How much is the median price range? Where are some great places to eat? Because we're locals, we already know that. But all the
Yeah.
analytics on homes and stuff, I just go on the MLS Chat GPT. We have one-liners, and then he helps me with hooks and how to transition and the cuts and all of that. So we do the script at home. We have the location mapped out before we leave, and that's helpful. It saves time.
Okay, and then the editing. Like, how does
He
the
does
editing?
it. He does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I hear from a lot of agents, and I just try to do a lot of social media content. I'll just squeeze this in here. I tell people that say, "Oh, but the editing just takes so long." If you start doing 3 videos a week and edit them on your own, yes, it's going to take a long time, but just like any other skill, you get better at it, and
Mhm.
editing videos becomes so much quicker. It becomes
Yeah.
so much quicker. It really does.
Yeah. I have to say, if you don't have like when I don't have him, when he goes back, I mean, he's gonna have a full-time schedule. I'll have to do the recording, send it to him to edit. But I was editing all my
Yeah.
videos before. Like if you go on my Instagram, like if you go to May, April, like June even, there's a lot of videos that I edited myself on edits on Instagram. It's easy,
Yeah.
just go on YouTube and just do it. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like quality. You're not like, people are just gonna hear again what you have, what kind of value or what kind of information you're providing. So
Yeah. We're not submitting for Academy Awards or
yeah, yeah,
Emmys. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's
yeah.
just more about the consistency then, right?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
are are you doing this all on an iPhone, on a different camera,
iPhone.
which is one of the best cameras that you can get, that we all have it in our pockets?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not that, if you look at it, you'll see it's not that high quality, but some of them get views, some of them don't. But for me, it's not how many views it has, it's that the three people in my neighborhood who see it and they're like, "Oh, we saw your video." And then they call me and they have a friend who wants to buy or sell
Yeah.
or yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. Exactly. Like we don't have to be big viral social media influencers. I mean, if I did a video every week and I got a buyer, a
Yeah.
couple, here and there, and the seller here and there, I mean, that's a win.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Rubina, that look, again, follow her, guys. She's doing great stuff on there. And also too, this is a lesson of even adapting. Like she sees the need in the business as the world is changing, where people are going for content, where people are going for information. They are going to social media. They're not pulling out the encyclopedia anymore. They're not pulling out the yellow pages. They're going to social media to find the things that they need to find. And so she's, pivoting and regardless of how many years she's been in the business, she's finding ways to get better. So those are great, great lessons. What's next for you professionally, personally? What's next in Rubina's life?
Oh my gosh. Okay, professionally, I want to just keep mm, having more deals, probably. For me, my goal would be to get to maybe like 40 deals a year, 20, maybe
Yeah,
start a team. Personally, I want to quit next year and go to Spain. Just
sure,
kidding.
sure. Why not?
No, but like it's like a 5-year plan or 10-year plan, right? To
Yeah.
retire in Portugal and Spain. That's personal. Those are the things we're working on. But yeah, just consistency. I dropped the ball too. I mean, I just want everyone to know to have, if you're feeling kind of low or you feel discouraged, find somebody in the office, get a coach, join a team, be consistent. And I always say I probably would work hard for some corporations 9 to 5, show up. Why don't I do that for myself? Why would I work super hard for somebody
Yeah.
else, but not do it for myself? So if you can schedule like you're showing up for someone else, but pretend like let me say this differently. Um, like if you're gonna show up to some 9 to 5 and they're making the money and you're just like getting $20 an hour or whatever it is, you're making 60,000 a year. Why not just do that for yourself? Like show up 9 to 5, don't leave, have that lunch break, work hard for yourself, not somebody else.
And by the way, Rubina sticks to that because sometimes I see her in our office, in our training room. Like she
Yeah.
just sits on a table and she's just there for hours on her laptop and working. So,
Yeah.
it's, and by the way, you should talk to Doug about your Spain and Portugal. He'll give you
Yes,
some
let's
like
talk.
Okay, Doug, we
he'll give you
should.
some insight on that.
Okay, cool. Yes, I'd love to. Do you have a place? We'll talk later.
Yeah, no,
Or
could definitely connect with Doug.
okay.
Rubina, it's such a joy to have you at Palos Verdes and to be with you there, and we just really appreciate it. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
all
It's such a
this.
joy to be there and everyone's amazing and you're wonderful and great. I can't say enough about you. So, thank you.
Uh,
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Rubina. All right,
Okay.
and thank you
Okay.
for squeezing us in. I know you had a busy morning, so thank you for that.
Of course.
Okay,
Okay. Have a
bye
good
bye.
weekend, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thanks.
Rubina.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks for
Thanks.
Thank
joining,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Awesome,
Thanks.
Rubina.
Thank you. Bye. Oh.
All right, have a great rest of